Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2018 Career Mode. Once again here today, and a big episode, guys. The video length should say everything you need to know. It's a crazy race, but if we're talking about crazy races, please watch yesterday's race, guys. You will not regret it. I thoroughly recommend it. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix in the top right hand corner of your screen. Also because at the end of that episode, we purchased 9 upgrades for the car for this race, and luckily for me, all 9 of them have arrived and none of them have failed. 3 for the engine, 3 for the chassis, and 3 for the aero. So I cannot believe I'm saying this, but we are going to have an absolutely stacked car arriving here at Spain, and this is also my first race as the number 1 driver in the team, so we're going to get extra R&D points coming our way very soon. Hopefully we can put some more upgrades on the car at the end of the episode going into the next race at Monaco. But pretty much our season starts now. If you haven't watched Azerbaijan, please watch it because it sets the tone for this episode and what's to come in the season. But as you can see, with the upgrades, pretty much, if you take away the rest of the teams around us, you've almost halved the gap from Ferrari to Sauber in the R&D chart. So a massive step forward and a huge push in the development front. We jump up to 3rd place, just behind Red Bull, who'll bring some upgrades of their own for this weekend. And we're looking to try and knock them off the 2nd spot very soon, hopefully in the next race, if we get some upgrades onto the car. But with that being said, guys, if you've seen Azerbaijan, you know how mad that race was. What happened with Leclerc and Ericsson, Vettel, Alonso, and the list goes on. It was absolutely insane. And it's basically blown the championship wide open, because that was probably my worst track of the entire season, and we got 2nd place around there, all things considered. So it's really opened up the championship for us, guys, and we've got a massive opportunity this race to really make something special happen. And of course, when it comes to special things happening, it tends to happen in the wet conditions, and that's exactly what we have here today for qualifying. It's going to be a wet session that goes to dry potentially by the end of the session. So we're going to keep one eye on the racetrack, another eye on the skies up above for the weather. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting session, guys. I'm looking forward to it. Spain is a track that I do enjoy. It's a lot of fun this year's game, and since the patch recently, the latest patch to fix the tire temperatures, I can enjoy this track a lot more, and I can really push the limits a lot more, which is really what I look to do around here, and ultimately what I enjoy around this circuit. So there's my teammate, Sebastian Vettel, who'll be hoping the upgrades also pay off dividends for him as well, as he tries to get his season started off, really, because I think he's only got 1 point and we're 4 races in, so Vettel needs a big result as well, as do I, because, you know, after the last race, we almost maximised the result in Azerbaijan. I mean, we could have maybe won the race, but I didn't really have that much pace, so 2nd maybe was the maximum. But this weekend, this is a big chance for us to get a good result, and the wet qualifying is going to be a key factor in that, and we're going to see how this all plays out. Currently, Leclerc is fastest, and this is my first run in the wet, and we got a massive screen freeze there. To be fair, I had a lot of them on my runs, but this particular lap, that was a huge screen freeze going down the hill there, and I had a few more as the lap went on, and it wasn't the smoothest of runs. As you can see, a purple sector 2 there, just a fraction down on Charles Leclerc, but we're looking good here, and the Ferrari is working very good in the wet conditions as we now go through the final chicane and now into the final corner. All about patience through here, letting the back end do the work and don't lose the back end on traction, crucially, and we cross the line and we do go P2, just the smallest of margins behind Charles Leclerc there. But we came back into the pit lane, and I was going to go back out for inters, but then the track started to dry out, and as you can see, Leclerc actually went out for inters with 4 minutes to go and then came straight back in, and the reason being is because it was time for the dry tyres and everyone's going to roll the dice. Now, me personally, I was kind of a handicap because you guys know and are well aware of the timing glitch that I have in my career mode, where if I cross the line and the flag is dropped and you fade to black to the race results, and pretty much you're going to see the AI put in some impossible lap time. So I have to do a lap before the session finishes so I can do a manual in lap while the flag drops. Basically, if you look at the timer in the top right, you get the idea. We need to do a lap and still have enough time to finish the lap and cross the line before the session ends. And of course, in this kind of session where the track's constantly drying, it doesn't suit me. I left it as late as I could. I could have maybe left it a couple of seconds later, but it would have made no difference in terms of the actual cars on track. And currently the lap times are dropping here. Everyone's setting purple lap after purple lap after purple lap. We've dropped down to P7, you can see there on the screen, and Leclerc dropping down the order with me as we now go well into sector 2, carrying the speed through turn 9 here. A little bit wide there and a little bit ragged onto the curb, but we just about hold on to the car there and don't get an invalidation, and we're over a second up as we go into sector 3 here, and we're absolutely flying on track at the minute. But there's a lot of faster cars behind us, and this is kind of the awkwardness because this is the only lap I'm going to have and I know I'm probably not going to get pole position because I know people are going to improve elsewhere. As you can see now through the final few corners here, about keeping the car, within the track limits, not pushing too much because the track is still very delicate. And there we go then, through the final corner, DRS open, maximum engine mode to cross the line. We do go fastest and P1 for now, but as you'd expect, that's not going to last because people behind are improving. We cross the line with a few seconds to spare, which is what you want in terms of the qualifying glitch to try and avoid it. But as you can see, Verstappen then sets the fastest time. Then Hulkenberg as well jumps up just in front of us. As you can see, Lance Stroll just went past. He put a good lap in as well. Carlos Sainz then goes fastest, and then you're going to see right now pretty much everybody flashing up on screen. Leclerc setting a 1:17 dead. Really, really fast up there from the Sauberman. And we dropped down to P8, and then later on we will drop down to P10 as Hamilton and Sirotkin would actually improve as well because they were the last two cars to cross the line. And P10 for us in qualifying, not the best session. We've got pretty much the worst starting position on the grid tomorrow because we're going to have to start the race on these tyres. And my teammate Sebastian Vettel, P14, gets a free choice of tyre. So it suits him a lot more than it suits me. We've got the worst position on the grid, so we need to fight our way through the field, and we've got a lot of work to do, especially because Charles Leclerc somehow after that session has ended up on pole position. So let's just jump into the race. We've got a lot of work to do, but I'm looking forward to it. It's the start of the European season, and it's time for the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's get into it.
It looks like you've really been focusing on research and development this season. It didn't look like you put much time into practice today. Is there a reason? Appreciate your time.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91, or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. Anthony Davidson is here with me today. Together we'll be taking you through all the action of this Spanish Grand Prix. It can be hard for the cars to follow each other closely here due to the dirty air coming off the car in front. So perhaps we're looking at a more strategic Grand Prix act. What do you think on that?
I'm not too sure about that, Crofty. I mean, yes, as you say, it's hard to follow around here, but if you're brave on the brakes, you can get the job done down into turn 1, which is a medium-speed corner, so you have to be committed. And looking down at this grid today, I think we're going to see one or two drivers making a move from a long way back, maybe try to force their opponent into a mistake. I don't think this is a race that's going to be purely decided in the pit stops.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and starting alongside is Fernando Alonso. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Hamilton, Ericsson, Carlos Sainz, and Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Sirotkin, and Martinez, Hartley, Van Dorn, Lance Stroll, and Vettel, Gasly, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, and Roman Grosjean. Bottas and Kevin Magnussen rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, here we go then. It's race time for the Spanish Grand Prix. We start from 10th place on the grid, the worst possible position in my opinion out of all of them in terms of qualifying, but not much we could have done, with all the qualifying time glitches we have and the AI's constant lap improvement with the conditions. There wasn't much we could have done. I was kind of hoping we would have got demoted to P11, but that wasn't the case unfortunately for us. So we've got it all to do here today, and we've got to try and make our way past 9 cars to get to the front of the pack and try and win. Charles Leclerc starts on pole. He's my target. I want to try and beat him, if not get second place. As simple as that, because we need to maximise these points now going into the European season. And in terms of the strategy for this race, as you can see, we've gone for the recommended original strategy of the super soft onto the soft and then onto the medium. There's a possibility I might be able to go super soft, soft, and soft, but we will see how it goes. It also depends if I have enough fresh soft tyres left. But, you know, we've got a tyre upgrade on the car this race, so that should hopefully come into play and help us out. And there's no rain expected. Fuel-wise, we've actually gone a little bit lighter than I normally would. I've only gone 1 lap extra fuel because I obviously put some fuel efficiency upgrades on the car in terms of the engine, so the car is more efficient than ever. And pretty much we're going to see how it goes. The pressure's on. We need to be aggressive. I'm going to really try and push hard in these opening laps and try and get these positions back. And let's see how it goes, and hopefully we can put ourselves into contention. With that being said, it's time for round 5, the start of the European season and the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's jump into it. Right, here we go. Let's build up the revs and get ready for the 5 red lights here at Catalonia. The lights are on, lights out, and away we go. Good start actually, not too bad. We get a little bit of wall spin in the second phase, which is annoying because we actually got a good launch. But still, a good start nonetheless. Sirotkin and Ocon here in front of us. As we go down towards turn 1, we've got to be careful to keep our front wing in one piece. Ocon and Sirotkin side by side here. Yellow flag behind as we go down to the green flag zone. Through turn 3, can we pick up the speed? Looks like Toro Rosso there, Pierre Gasly I want to say, or Brendan Hartley, one of the two. I've come off quite badly there. Meanwhile, we are right behind Esteban Ocon, and I've got the pace already. I can feel in the car, I've got the grip. We're going to go straight down the inside here of the Force India. I've got to be careful to not hit Sirotkin there. Down the inside of Ocon, we get the move done. Sirotkin in the Williams, making a good start to this race, considering this is not really where the Williams normally competes. You know, their car, they've improved a lot, but they're still very much at the bottom of the field. So Sirotkin's going to be pretty easy to get past, I think. Although straight line speed-wise, seems to be okay in that Williams. We have to just sit behind him for now, and hopefully we'll get him on the pit straight. First time of asking. Let's just negotiate this final sector here for the first time, get used to the conditions. Car feels good though, very nimble, very grippy. I've got a good setup, but the upgrades are making a big difference here in the aerodynamics and the chassis, as I can really feel the car is working. That kind of understeer problem that I've had in the first few races, definitely feels a lot better now. I noticed it in practice, and it definitely feels like it's gone now. I don't really have that understeer, at least not as bad as I did. Meanwhile, here we go, we're finally making the move on Sirotkin, so let's try and get past him. Much more power, much more straight line speed, and we're going to get the move done even before the brake zone. As we pick up a corner cut there, a little bit too much grip. And we cut turn 1, but that's fine. Up into 8th place then. 2 places gained off the start. Good progress. Leclerc already opening up a gap out front. So we need to try and keep this going and make progress. Up next, Nico Hülkenberg in the Renault. Let's try and get past him. Okay, Leclerc sets the pace, 17.7. We're now on the back of Hülkenberg here, and DRS is going to get enabled onto lap 3. There we go. Hamilton's the man that's holding up this little train here. Obviously, Hamilton got a good qualifying yesterday with the conditions. But that Mercedes is a bit like the Williams really, is towards the bottom of the pack and doesn't really have the pace anymore. Sainz gets past Lewis, and now Lewis is under pressure here from Max Verstappen as we're now catching up to these guys. A good opportunity here to make some moves, as I think Ericsson has passed Alonso. Hamilton runs a bit deep there into the brake zone, and we're getting close to Hülkenberg here. Good exit. Just put the pressure on the Renault here. I think I should be able to get the run on Hülkenberg here. There we go, traction down. The Renault is fast on the straight. It's probably the fastest car along with the Sauber, but we are going to get the traction there and the straight line speed. We'll check it out now in a minute's time. Let's just get through turn 9 first, a little bit wide there.
Got that confirmed.
Hülkenberg coming back at me here, but we're going to defend that as we get recommended a strategy switch to pit in a lap earlier. I'm going to commit to my strategy though and go long, as I think a Force India's retired there on the back straight. Yeah, Sergio Perez out of the race. So the first retirement of the race goes to Sergio Perez. Now let's see if we can make some more moves here. Trying to get past Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. DRS enabled, but I think Lewis is going to have DRS off of Carlos Sainz. And I think Verstappen might struggle to get past the Mercedes here. I think Lewis will have to go defensive, which will put him on the back foot into turn 1. There we go. Any other game and I'd be tempted to undercut these guys, but I know I don't have pace in the undercut because I struggle so much more than the AI on cold tyres, so we're just going to have to stay out and try and overcut them. Verstappen now really giving Hamilton a hard time here, trying to go around the outside of the Mercedes. Hamilton just defends it, and that's going to put Verstappen on the back foot. We have to get on the brakes. Oh dear, Verstappen locks up and forces me wide. More contact there. Hülkenberg losing an end play on Verstappen. Oh dear, that was a bit of a messy one. Hülkenberg and Verstappen still going at it here. Verstappen goes around the outside of the Renault. We've lost a hell of a lot of time though from potentially going for a move on Verstappen there. We've had to back out of it due to Verstappen locking up. Hülkenberg is struggling with front wing damage, I can tell already. We're going to try and go for a very strong in lap now. This was meant to be the recommended change of strategy lap, but we're going to ignore that. Because we've got an early pit box, there's a good chance of us undercutting people in the pit stops. Here we go though, we're gaining on Hulkenberg. The Renault is very fast, but we are catching. Down the inside at turn 1. Verstappen going for the move on Hamilton once again. We are going to get past Nico Hulkenberg then. Let's try and keep it flat out through turn 3. No, not quite, the grip's not there. Hamilton gets a poor exit under pressure from Max Verstappen. We're going to go all the way around the outside of the Mercedes. Do we have the grip? Yes, we do. Power down. Inside line, this is my corner, thank you very much. And there we go. We're past Lewis, P6 now. Good in lap so far, 2 places made up. And we are now chasing down Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. Let's try and get past him if we can. Probably ain't going to happen on this lap, but it might happen in the pit lane. Okay, Verstappen stays out, interestingly enough. Into the pit lane we go then. A little bit scruffy, but we are going to get it sorted out. We get it slowed down as well, so there we go, good stuff. A lot of people still staying out, which is quite surprising. Are they going to try and go for the 1 stop maybe? That's quite bold. 2.6, not the best stop there from the Fry boys, but it will do. Hamilton in front of us, sorry, Hamilton behind us there. We've got Sainz in front. All these guys on the soft compound tyres now. Good news is, it looks like even though there's a lot of 1-stoppers up the road, they're quite a way away, so we're going to have some very nice clean air to push. So that's very, very good indeed. Sainz is the nearest car, and he's quite a way away, and you can see on the minimap there all the nearest traffic. So we've got a nice bit of clean air to really make these soft tyres work. Also, I'm going to try and undercut Verstappen here. So we're going to get up to speed straight away. Tyres already feel switched on, so let's try and undercut Max Verstappen and try and get him this lap. I'll be surprised if we do manage to pull it off. Okay, cars in the pit lane. Is one of them Verstappen? Yes, it is. There's Verstappen in the pit lane, so we've undercut him by quite some way. I'm actually surprised. We've never really pulled off undercuts, but that was a very convincing one. Also, bad news is we're not going to have clean air for much longer. I think there's a slow-moving Williams of Lance Stroll, and I think he's got a problem because he might have front-wing damage because there's a train starting to form, and it was him that was leading it, so we're going to have to start making our way through traffic soon. Oh, VSC deployed. Interesting. Not sure what that is for exactly, but no retirements. Oh, there you go. Oh my God, Leclerc again! Leclerc's out of the race. Okay, this is it. This is my chance, this race. I mean, we're P14, but if I could somehow win this race, oh my days. Cars in the pit lane there. Grosjean's timed that to perfection. He's going to benefit beautifully from that VSC. But Charles Leclerc out for the 2nd race in a row. Oh boy. This race just got a hell of a lot more interesting. There he is. Oh my days. This is my opportunity. We need to win this race somehow. Not sure how, but we need to win it. Straight away, getting to work. Purple middle sector. But we've now caught up to this train of cars here. As you can see, Sainz is now the first one to make his way through. But this train of cars is going to give me the chance to get past Carlos Sainz. And there's a McLaren there. I'm going to guess that's Stoffel Vandoorne. If it is Fernando Alonso, that's going to be another position for us. Right now, the man who's got the pace is Ericsson, obviously, because Charles Leclerc is out. So by default, it's the other Sauber that's now the man to win the race. But I know I'm faster than Ericsson. I can be faster than Ericsson. It's Leclerc who's normally untouchable. So here we go. We're going to start making our way now past these guys, hopefully 1 by 1. Okay, Sainz trying to get past Hartley here. That's Alonso behind Bottas, which is good. So Alonso is trying to make his way through the traffic. Sainz goes defensive into this next left, so we're just going to have to manage it here. Don't want to overcommit or, make any stupid mistakes because we've got an opportunity here to make some overtakes for net positions. So it's important to, overtake these wisely. Sainz trying to go around the outside of Hartley. Hartley locks up though. Again, we're kind of the victim of another lock up here and we're out of position. I'm going to try and have a look at Sainz on the pit straight here. But that was an opportunity there, missed. I was going to try and go very long on the brakes into the hairpin, but Hartley locking up kind of made that awkward for me. Hartley won't have DRS though on the pit straight. So Sainz is probably going to breeze past. We know how fast the Renault is, but let's try and get past Hartley as well if we can. Maximum engine power here. Hartley does not have DRS. Here we go. We're going to make light work of the Toro Rosso as well, as did Sainz. And get past down the inside. There we go. A little bit of a squeeze from Hartley, but we are going to get the job done. and we both get past Brendan Hartley. Alonso's making progress. It's important to not let him get away either. I've got to say, I got the run here on Sainz. Sainz locks up. That's the one. That's the opening right there. Didn't expect that, but we had the pace. The car is incredibly fuel efficient here. I'm going to try and burn some fuel up because we're saving so much fuel, even without just driving in standard mode. So let's try and open up the taps a bit and lighten up the car. Stroll and Bottas in front. Let's try and get some more moves done here. What would we like for straight line speed compared to a Mercedes? Let's find out. We pretty much match the personal best. Sainz is behind, but we've already got a nice gap. Bottas is going to attack Stroll here. Look at this. This could be interesting. Stroll, Bottas up our side. And Bottas. Oh my days. That was way too close. Almost at the back of Stroll there. Stroll doesn't go defensive, but oh my god, that Williams is so slow. We need to get past ASAP. Oh, that's a late one, but we had to take it. Now Sainz is going to have to get past him. I think he's already done it, to be fair to his credit, but I needed to go for that dive on Stroll. It just had to be done. Can we get Bottas into the hairpin here, or are we too far back? I think it's possible. I think it might be possible. We are gaining. Down the inside. Yes, please. Beautiful. That's becoming a bit of an overtaking spot there. But that's down to the upgrades. You know, the car gripping up beautifully through turn 9, and compared to the AR having so much more pace. There's Ericsson just in front of this train of cars, so visibly he's a lot closer. I'm curious to see what my teammate is, Sebastian Vettel. He started P14 in this race, and he started on the soft, so he's going to be on the one-stop strategy way out front, looking pretty good.
A new strategy is available on the MFT. Confirmed.
Yeah, we'll give that a go. I do want to try and run the softs in the final stint, although having said that, the mediums are also tempting because you can just push on the mediums unforgivingly and not have to worry about your tyres. You do still have to manage your softs a little bit towards the end of the tyre life. So I'll kind of weigh that one up once I feel like these tyres are starting to fade. But for now, we've still got plenty of tyres left, so let's keep pushing. Okay, personal best. Magnussen's got DRS on Gasly here, but he's not got enough speed. We're going to gain the pair of them. Oh my god, it's 3 wide. Magnussen pulled out right on the last minute there, but we're going to go for it. Yes, please. What a move. The car is working incredibly well. Up next, Fernando Alonso. In front of him, Marcus Ericsson. And Alonso seems to be battling with him. There's Vettel on the minimap. I think he's leading the race. So, strategy-wise, Vettel's placed beautifully. But we're in this race now, boys. P6. We can do this. Still 20 laps to go. Match our personal best. Gap to Alonso down to 2.3. We've got pace here. I'm excited. For once, we have got the car to make something happen.
Sebastian is in the pits.
Okay, Sebastian pits in then. That's going to be for his one and only start onto the mediums. So I kind of feel like I have to try and stretch this to a soft stint to have tyres at the end of the race to compete with Sebastian. Not just with Sebastian though, with Van Dorn and also Ricciardo as well. So personal best into the 1 minute 17 now. Pace very strong. Alonso and Ericsson still going at it here, and we're gaining more and more each lap going by. But we're now P3. It's important to stick with those personal best lap times and keep pushing at that rhythm because we need those laps to compete here today. Okay, we're within DRS now of Fernando Alonso, who is trying to keep up with Ericsson, but is just struggling to hold on. He pulls him back on the straight, but Ericsson pulls away in the rest of the lap. Also, the fuel's starting to burn off as well, finally, so the car's becoming lighter and more nimble and a bit more aggressive. That also puts less wear on the tyres, less stress on the tyres, so looking good here. I think we should be fine to make this work. We're currently on 11 laps on these tyres, and we need to get to lap 22 to do 11 laps in the final stint. We can kind of split that in half and say it gets up around lap 20, lap 19, 20 I'd say. We've got a fresh set of softs, which is good, so we can definitely, I reckon, lap 19, 20 and make another set of soft tyres work. Okay, so Ericsson's on mediums. That explains why he's maybe not as fast as he would be. Does that mean he's going to go softs at the end on the final stint? That's also possible. So we need to get past Ericsson here in case he goes on softs in the final stint, because he's going to be similar pace to me, I reckon. So let's try and make some moves here whilst we can, whilst we still have tyres. It's going to be quite tricky though to make a move on Alonso, because obviously the DRS he's got on Ericsson, and the McLaren is a pretty fast car on a straight line. As you can see there, Alonso's name tag gradually pulling away. Although we do pull him back a little bit on the second half of the straight. But we need to try and lunge it on Alonso somewhere, find a place to make a move. I think I know the spot, but I don't think I've got the tyres for it, which is obviously the hairpin at turn 10. So we need to find somewhere else, I think. We're gaining a little bit on Alonso here, but is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. Although Alonso does go defensive, so that's going to cost him some time. This is our scheduled pit stop lap. We're starting to put the pressure on Alonso big time now. Just needing to get away from DRS and Ericsson. We've got about a lap, I'd say, until we pit lap 19. So I want to try and pass Alonso before the pit stops, preferably. I've definitely got more pace than both of these guys, though. Ooh, that's not going to help the rear tyres at all. Okay, so I'm going to do the opposite of whatever they do this lap. If they don't come in this lap, I'm going to come in. I'm going to roll the dice here. I want that undercut. Seeing how the undercut worked last time, I know it can work again if we get clean air. So I'm going to save a little bit of fuel in the ERS here in the final sector. Let's see what they do, whether they come in or whether they stay out. And they both stay out, so we're going to come in. Here we go then. It's go time. Contra strategy. Get it all slowed down. There we go. Good entry. Just got to hope we rejoin in clean air. That's what it's all about. Come on, boys. Nice quick stop. Here we go. There we go. 2.3. That's much better than the last one, which was 2.6. So Verstappen, there's Vettel. He's technically the net race leader on the one stop on the mediums. Here comes Grosjean on the softs. He's probably going to have to pit again. And then we've got a train of cars here, which is a little bit bigger than I thought. But it shouldn't affect our outlap, I don't think, if Alonso and Ericsson pit in this lap. Although they are battling, which is a little bit annoying. So this is going to be awkward. Let's just focus on having a strong outlap and getting on the back of that train come the end of this lap. Purple middle sector, but we've now caught up to these guys. This is annoying and awkward at the same time. They're all on worn tyres, except for Ricciardo, who's going to the end, I believe. Let's see what we can do here. I think Van Dorn as well, he's going to the end, so just need to follow, unfortunately, and just wait. We had a good outlap, but now we're just losing time here. Ocon comes in, as does Hulkenberg. There we go, now we've been released. And we're going to get DRS as well. Here we go then, this is it. Make or break. Verstappen in the pit lane. Here comes Alonso, he's leaving the pit lane right now. He's a little bit further away than I thought. Is Ricciardo going to get in front of him? It's going to be close. A bit of contact there. Ricciardo loses an end plate. We have to get out of it. We have to yield. Ericsson has stayed out for one more lap. Could be going to the end. I guess we'll find out. But Ricciardo is vulnerable here in the Red Bull. He's got front wing damage. Around the outside. There we go. We've got the grip on these tyres. Right then. We need a strong lap. This is the lap we need now. This is the one that counts to undercut Ericsson. Let's catch up to Alonso. Alonso down the inside of his own teammate at the hairpin and gets it done straight away. Or does he? Van Dorn's still holding on, to be fair to his credit. Come on, let's try and just get within a second here and nab some DRS. Van Dorn going to the end of those mediums, of course, as we know, through the chicane. Van Dorn is going to have DRS on his own teammate, but it doesn't really matter too much. We've had a great exit. This was a much better lap. There's Grosjean. Personal best, or should I say fast up at the Grand Prix. Ericsson is still staying out. So is Ericsson going to the end of the race? We will find out. Down the inside of Van Dorn into turn 1. Yes, please. Just went really late on the brakes. Van Dorn kind of left the door open, so I took it. Right then, so Alonso's P3, we're P4. My teammate Sebastian Vettel going to the end is P2. And Marcus Ericsson, I think, is going to try and go to the end maybe, or he might strap on the super softs. We will find out. There's still a long way to go in this race. But now let's focus on cooking up an overtake and getting past Fernando Alonso. Right then, at the final corner, we are going to have DRS on Alonso, but we're not really close enough for an overtake. Alonso's setting the pace, but we're faster than him. But we're looking pretty neck and neck here for pace. We are getting, look at the straight line speed we've got on the McLaren here in this Ferrari. Things really improving here with the red car with these upgrades, but not close enough. If I can just get a little bit closer next lap, I might have a chance. Let's try and stay with him here and try and follow Alonso. Right then, into the chicane. We're much closer. Let's just try and stay close. There we go. This is much better. We're within range this time. This is the one. Here we go. Onto the pit straight. Matching the fast up of the Grand Prix. And look at the speed difference here. Alonso's got no chance. We breeze past. And the move is done. And we're up to a podium position here. Ferrari 2-3 in the Spanish Grand Prix from P10 and P14 on the grid respectively. We can do this. We can win this race. 10 laps to go. Ericsson is pretty far ahead still. If he doesn't pit, it's going to be hard to catch. Especially because I know how the Sauber speed up at the end of the Grand Prix. But Vettel's definitely catchable. Fast out of the Grand Prix, 19.8. Gap to Alonso, 8 tenths. I'm trying to break away from the DRS, and I think I should be able to pull that off this lap.
Some like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Oh man, really? We're having such a good race as well. This could have been the start of our Constructors' Championship. Okay, we're going to have to just stomach that one. We're going to have to lose all of our gap to Alonso here for these final two corners because Vettel's going very slow. But hopefully with the straight line speed, Vettel should cause a bit of trouble. And Alonso shouldn't pass him so easily, although Vettel's quite slow in straight line speed there. Hopefully I can give him a toe. And Alonso doesn't get past straight away. There we go. That should be a good toe for Sebastian. Hopefully he can just cost Alonso enough time that Alonso drops out of DRS. Also, I'm hoping Vettel has enough of a gap that he can still hold on to P4 in this race. The chase for Ericsson, though, begins right now. Let's go after him. Looks like Marcus Ericsson isn't going to pit for the super softs, and he's going to commit to finishing the race on those mediums. We're about 1.5 seconds a lap faster at the minute, but knowing how the Sauber speeds up at the end of the race, it might be quite hard to catch him. I'm going to keep pushing though. It's not over until it's over. My lap's pretty consistent at the minute. We've opened up a nice gap to Alonso. Gap is now inside 10 seconds to Ericsson, but we've only got 4 laps left and I'm not really gaining enough, so I think P2 is going to be where it's at today, unless Ericsson has a problem, which I cannot see happening. So I think we tried, but I don't think it's going to happen. We have to wait one more race maybe. Tyres feel great. Car is still super consistent. I'm in the low 17s every single lap. Gap down to 7.3. It's not going to happen, but I gave it a bloody good shot. Here we go then into the final sector. We're just cruising now, bringing it home. Strong race. Cannot complain about P2. I really can't. Leclerc retires again, and that's blown the championship wide open now going into Monaco. But that is going to be it for the Spanish Grand Prix. Marcus Ericsson wins the race for Sauber. We come home P2. Grazie ragazzi, forza Ferrari. Grande gara, grande macchina. Siamo fortissimi. I'm looking forward to the next race. Woohoo!
A great win then for the Sauber team today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
Okay, then here we have it then. Marcus Ericsson wins the Spanish Grand Prix. We come home second from P10 on the grid, and the first lap of the Grand Prix goes to us, the only man in the 1:16s. Fernando Alonso, the home hero, P3, ahead of Max Verstappen, Stoffel Vandoorne, Carlos Sainz, the other Spaniard, P6. Sebastian Vettel in the end, P7, with car trouble, not too bad. A little bit unfortunate in this race, Sebastian, because he was on for at least a P4 finish. And Roman Grosjean there, P8, and then Ricciardo 9th, and Hulkenberg rounds off the points. Then Bottas, Ocon, Gasly, Hamilton, Magnussen, Stroll, Hartley and Sorokin all miss out on points, and Leclerc retires for the second consecutive race, and Sergio Perez retires also in the Racing Point Force India. But in terms of what that race means for the Drivers' Championship, guys, for the first time in, I want to say, maybe 2 years since we was at Mercedes, we lead the Drivers' Championship by 1 point over Charles Leclerc and Marcus Ericsson. The Saubers are equal on points, and we are a point ahead of the pair of them. So the top 3 covered by 1 point going into the legendary Monaco Grand Prix. Magnussen, he won the last race. He still holds on to P4, so fair play to him. Sebastian Vettel scoring his first decent points haul of the season, and he jumps up to P14 and just about visible on the table there. And in terms of the constructors, Sauber still lead the way, and we jump up to 4th place, overtaking Haas, and are only 3 points behind Red Bull and a further 7 points behind McLaren. So there's a good chance we can get 2nd place if we can improve into the next race. And speaking of improving into the next race, it's time to jump into the laptop, because we've got some R&D points to burn. And because this was our first race as the number 1 driver in the contract, we earn extra R&D points. Therefore, we should have a nice bunch of points to upgrade our car going into Monaco. So let's do that.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? You've taken the lead in the championship. Are you going to be able to keep up that momentum? Great. Well, that's everything.
Okay, so we have 1,000 points to spend, and to be honest with you guys, we can actually do quite a few upgrades, I think, from Monaco. So straight away, obviously Monaco being the kind of circuit it is, we need to do aerodynamic upgrades, because also if we look at the main menu here, you can see the aero is just about the weakest part of the car, so we're going to upgrade that and really strengthen it. So we're going to get an upgrade for the drag, and also to the right hand side, an upgrade for the rear downforce, for the rear wing outer strakes. We're going to get those two on the car for Monaco. That should make us almost the second strongest team in the aero, and we have 424 points to spend. And we could go engine, but because it's Monaco, I'm going to look more along the chassis side of things. We miss out on this wiring loom by 1 R&D point. Can we get the next one? No, we can't. That's 500, so we can't afford a chassis upgrade. Can we get an engine upgrade on the car? Can we sneak one on? Let's have a look. Okay, there's one there for the ERS for 375, so we might as well do it. Even though Monaco is not a power circuit, it's not going to hurt, so we'll get that on the car as well. And that should just push our power unit to be the second strongest one on the grid. So even for Monaco, with 1,000 points, we should have a triple upgrade on the way, and that should hopefully help us overtake Red Bull as the second fastest team, and once again, close the gap to Sauber. But if you guys did enjoy this episode of Career Mode, then please do drop a like on the video, guys. Also, get subscribed if you are new for daily Formula 1 content, and turn notifications to not miss a single video from me. Finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next episode very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.